Well, hello there, beautiful rays of light. Thank you for joining me on the Hill Spot podcast. I am Nikei S Salas, your host, spiritual guide, well-being educator, and all-around inspiration giver. This is about promoting healing. We want to promote healing so we can live better. When we are doing better, we are able to enjoy our lives. And how do we do this? We do this by positively affecting the different aspects of the self, whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally, and the spirit. The spirit loves that. It goes along for the ride. So make sure you subscribe so you can be notified of upcoming videos and life teachings. Thank you for joining me. Peace and blessings. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to the other side, to 2024, a new year. I'm wishing and I'm claiming so many different things that's going to happen in a good way for you all. But how do we make this possible? How can we make this possible? Well, there's different things we can do, right? But there are certain things that I would like to focus in on. Number one is letting go. Yeah, I know. I know sometimes we think we are letting go of certain things. We think we need certain things to go on in our lives, but it just weighs us down. Those things, those attachments that are not beneficial to us. And that is why we all got to do self-reflection, right? Whether it's going into a new year, at the end of the day, having time to self-reflect, because I think that is very important, right? To sit with yourself in silence and have those real conversations with yourself and ask yourself, how did the day go? How could it have been better? Not to, put no judgment on you or anything, or judgment of anybody else that has something to do with your day. But so you can take in the lessons that the great divine universe is trying to teach us every day and in every moment. But sometimes, just sometimes, right? Not all the time. Sometimes we are not letting go. We are not letting go of those things, or we do not know of those things that are not beneficial for us, right? So, how do we know this? Well, again, doing the self realization or the self reflection, taking that time. But also, we can write down the pros and the cons of our lives, right? And I'm talking about the things that's working for us, the things that are moving us forward. Don't have to be moving us forward, or we seeing things being manifested all in one day, right? Because life is a process. Sometimes we can have intentions, we can have goals, we can have visions for certain things to come into our life, but sometimes that takes time in a good way, right? And that time is needed often to give us the fullness of the lesson, because it's not always obtaining a certain thing, obtaining a certain type of experience or a different situation, but it's the lesson in it, right? Because when we get the lesson, we get wise, we get the wisdom, we get the understanding. And that's something that can never be replaced, like material things, right? So, going back to self-reflection, self-realization, again, writing down the pros and the cons of our lives. Again, having that honest conversation with yourself and ask yourself, because the spirit that's in all of us, the spirit of everything, the divine, what I call the divine, God's universe, always wants to lead us, always wants the best for us, always wants to guide us. But sometimes that guidance system is blocked from different distractions. So you ask that question. You ask, hey, what's going on right in my life and what is not going on right? And like I said, whether it be that day or over time, those answers will start coming to you. It will start showing up in your life. I give you an example. I know for myself, I have what many people may call started over, but I like to say new chapters. I am a person that likes to move through the universe, even on this planet. So I have moved in physical places multiple times, but that's my life, right? But in these ways of moving, they have helped me to open up new mental spaces. And when we open up more and mentally, definitely emotionally, because they all part of that, right? We are able to flow. We are able to move forward, right? We are able to, again, obtain different lessons, new experiences when we move through our life. So, in the process of my new move, I had to let go of a lot of stuff, right? Because I know more so that taking the old with me, that does not really mean too much. It had its purpose. It did what it was needed to do at that time before, does not necessarily mean it has to go into the new physical place, right? So I threw a lot of stuff away, you all, and said to myself and said to the divine, God's universe, that I know that you always have the best for me, that this is just a thing, but me and you, or being, because I believe God is a being, our relationship is bigger than this. It is bigger than this thing. So I let it go. I was able to throw away a lot of stuff. So again, with you all, I encourage you all to write down or consider the pros and cons of your life. The things that can be thrown away to make new space, whether it be physical space, mental space, emotional space. Because a lot of times when we're holding on to physical and mental things, they are affecting us emotionally, right? Because that's part of our feelings. And the feelings are part of the guidance system. It's very similar to if we are walking down the street and we see a dog that's not on the leash and the dog is barking, you get that feeling, you have that rush of emotion, of fear, to guide you to run or go the other way, or to just let you know there might be possible danger. So I want you to ask yourself, when you are either, consider it just in your mind, but I encourage you to write it down, because writing things down does it works differently. It helps us to really look at what is going on in our lives, and it's something that we can go back on, right? So if we're writing these things down, okay, what's the pros and cons of my life? As much as you can think of. And if you are doing this as a daily practice, more and more should be able to come out of you, purge from you. Because again, God, the divine, the universe always wants the best for you, wants to give you the answers so you can live better in your life. When we are living better in our lives, yes, we're able to have joy, right? We're able to have new experiences, whether that be it with people or just, just having fun, because we should make time for fun. But the divine is able to use us, be in us, connect to us when we are releasing a lot of that old stuff, right? So when we are writing down, again, asking yourself, because that might be different from you, and that's okay, from what's going on with me. Me throwing away, material possessions to just gain a better sense of self, to open myself up mentally, emotionally, might be the different plan for you. But that's why releasing ourselves of these different situations and things, whatever they might be, individually, is to make our lives better in the way that's better for you, right? So when we are, again, going through the pros and cons of our lives, another question that we can put out there is, what works best for me? What is well with my soul? And we want to be well, right? Because as I said before, it's about being better mentally, emotionally, physically, yes, so the spirit can lead us, so the spirit could come forth and be the leading presence in our life, as well as God, the divine, the universe can lead in our lives. And I'm here to tell you, it would give you a totally different new awareness. It would, and that's okay. It will show you things, it will show you experience life in different ways that you have never experienced before, if we allow ourselves to be led by the Spirit. So one of the reasons why we are detaching, we are throwing away stuff, physical stuff, mental stuff, emotional stuff, because it's taking up space. It is keeping us bound. It is keeping us tied from fully experiencing our lives in the best way possible. So yes, that's one of the things that we could do. Pros and cons of our lives. And again, however that might look like and feel like for you. Another thing is, which I am, and all of these things that I'm telling you is things that I practice myself. I believe in giving of what I know for myself. And again, it might work differently from you, but that's part of inspiration, right? To go in and touch someone's spirit, to activate their spirit, their own spirit, so their spirit can tell them what's best for them. So again, like I said earlier, I told you of what works for me, but that was to inspire you to find out what works for you. So again, number one, letting go, pros and cons. The next thing is movement. That is very important, you all. When we wake up in the morning, depending on where you live at, but it's all pretty much the same. When we wake up, I am a firm believer in having gratitude. And when I was saying earlier about depending on where you wake up, because I'm in a more warmer climate, I like to go outside. I like to practice gratitude outside, but if you're not able to, that's fine too. Practice gratitude wherever you are. Thank you, God, for this day. Don't got to be all fancy smashy. Just opening your mouth, opening yourself, your mind, your body. So again, the spirit can flow and saying, thank you for this day. I'm here to tell you it is more than just words. You are activating your spirit. When we are in this joyous state, when we are really in tune with gratitude, it changes our brain, you all. There's so much research and data out here that aligns with this. And I'm not just saying this because of science, though I'm a big science researcher, right? And I say this to you because this is what exactly is happening in our body. Biologically, chemically, it is changing when we practice gratitude in a good way. Those feel-good hormones are released, one of them being dopamine. And when we do need dopamine to help us, to help promote us to feel better. This happy hormone is needed for different things, right? It's not only to make us feel good, pleasurable, but it also helps boost and increase our mood. It helps us to have better immunity. So just imagine if we are practicing gratitude, being grateful throughout the day, we are consistently rotating or we're consistently cycling this hormone throughout our body. Yes. So the next thing I would like to talk to you all about is movement. Depending on where we live at, right? I know for myself, I like to walk outside. I like to move outside, whether it be stretching or things like that. But there are different ways in 2024 that we can move. In the house, at our jobs, or place of work. I encourage you to, at your own will, right? Whether you starting off new, it'd be 5 minutes, 10 minutes or more, move our bodies. One of the greatest teachings I have ever received from my acupuncture doctor was the importance of movement. And when I first met her, it was me just thinking the only form of exercise was running on a bike, dancing, or so forth, with those being all great, right? But she said, just move your body, stretch your body, doing different ranges of motion, which is something I would encourage and practice with the different patients that I will have in nursing. Range of motion, movement is just helping your body to even circulate dopamine, and it's helping to increase the different systems in our body to work well for us and be better for us, whether it be the lymphatic system, our circulatory system of blood, whether it be just different things that are going on in our body. It is needed. It is needed, you all. It is very important for movement. So however that might look like for you, feel like for you, again, you do what's best for you. My favorites are walking, and I love to do dance videos. At this point, practice this consistently throughout the day. I schedule times throughout the day where I'm making sure I'm doing range of motion, whether it be stretching, yoga, walking outside. Sometimes I do walk videos inside, but also doing dancing so I can help my body be better. Again, we doing all of this to be better mentally, physically, emotionally, so we can be able to open ourselves up more for the spirit to leave. The more well we are, the better we live. So that's all for today. Those are just a couple of things I want to talk to you about to help start your 2024. Didn't want to do too much, right? I don't want to overload you. It's still the first week. So I wish you all well. Peace and blessings always. I am Nikei S Salas, your spiritual guide, well-being educator, inspiration giver, and I wish you a great 2024. Until the next time. Bye.